Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing stages 67 to 70 at a Fanhome release of Build Robocop.
Drop it!
Now with this build, if you remember at the end of the last stage, we had been doing the chest piece and we had put a control board in there. Well, we're not actually doing anything to do with the torso or the chest piece today. We are going to start the final arm. Now, I have got the other arm that we created here for reference, looking just like that. Obviously, we haven't installed this yet. Fingers are all articulated, as you can see there, but that looks pretty cool. That's going to be sitting roughly there. It's giving you an idea of size of this thing, but yes, we are going to be creating the other arm today. Now if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description, and there's also that QR code on the screen. You will have to check your territory to see if that's available. Now before we jump into it though, guess what, I've got another merch on the map, and I'm absolutely thrilled with where this merch on the map comes from this time. Now today's merch on the map is absolutely brilliant, and I absolutely love it because I've actually been to where the location is, where today's viewer has sent in their merch on the map, and today it's Christopher Mason. And as you can see here, Christopher Mason is front of Cinderella's castle in Walt Disney World, Florida, and I've been there like 4 times. I need to go again. But Chris, thank you so much for that. How far is Walt Disney World, Florida from us? Well, as you can see here, I think it's over 4,000 miles as a guess. I don't know. 4,300? I would have to see what the map says there. But I really do appreciate seeing a World of Wayne t-shirt over there in Florida in Walt Disney World. I really, you made me want to go back there now. Once again, if you want to appear in merch on the map, all you got to do is click on that QR code, go to the merchandise store, get yourself some merch, take a picture of your location, and then just email it to me here, and I will feature you on merch on the map. How cool is that? Walt Disney World. That is absolutely brilliant. Anyway, without further ado, let's get cracking. So here is stage 67, and we'll look through the instructions, and as you can see, we're going to be doing the elbow joint first, putting that together just like that. So I think I'll do that on its own. I'm guessing the rest of it I could probably do as one stage, but let's see how we get on. Now, once again, I am having a week of using this Metmo driver just to see exactly how this is. It's I am really enjoying it at the moment. The blades are really sharp in this section as well. And I was worried that it just takes too long to change these things over, but look how quick you can change these. It's done. It's brilliant. So I'm ready for the next thing. If you are limited for space and you don't want to have all loads and loads of tools everywhere, I can see that being really good. The other thing I like about this is when I'm screwing in, because this has got a rotating handle here, you see, I can put pressure on here and it still turns. I like that. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking this section here, which is stamped with an L, and I'm going to be putting this plate just over the top here like that. And that's going to be held in with an EP screw. Got that here, and let's get that into place. I'm then taking this section here, and as you can see, we have got an indent for a nut, which I'm about to put in. Got that here. That's going to go into place in there, sitting flat like that. But we do want to keep that into place. We don't want that falling out. So I do have a little tab here that's going to go over the top to hold that in. And then to hold that tab in, we're going to be using KP screws. Now the bit on this is a PH0 bit, but I think this is a little bit smaller than it needs to be, so I'm going to use a PH00, because these are really tiny screws. And that's one there, and one just that side. So that nut is going nowhere. Perfect. So let's put my PH0 back in. Now I'm going to be putting the ratchet joint in. So basically it's a spring, and then I've got this section on top, which is going to go in this way round, just like that, fitting into that gap just there. What that enables me to do is when I take the other side of this and put these together, you can see, just like that, how these hold in here. And then to close all of this off, I've got this side to put in, which goes on top there. And then this reason we put the nut in there is because in this side we've got this extra long screw which is just going to be going in here. So get that in. Perfect. And then finally, I've just got 2 EP screws just to hold this part here into place. So one in here and one just over this side here. There's nothing going in that hole there. And there we go. So that should hold its position, as you can see there. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 68, here's the instructions. And this time we've got this going into this sheath just like that, and then screwing that in. So I am now going to be bundling these together because there's not much to do in that stage. So that brings us to stage 69. And here's the magazine. And we've got the outer edge, which we're going to be putting on there just like that. And then I think I'm going to put the last stage together as well. And then that's going to complete, I'm guessing, the upper part of the arm. Let's check. Yep, we're putting that into place just like that. So that's how it's looking at the end of this pack. So this is a nice quick pack. So here is stage 68. Let's get all of these parts out. And all I'm going to do is holding this way round. I'm going to take what we just created last time and I'm going to have that this way round here with the nut facing up and just put that into here. Turning that over, at this side here is where I'm going to be screwing this plate in. This is metal. I want to line up that bottom lug with a hole there and then put this into place just like that. And then I've got these EM screws here which I'm going to be able to hold that in with. Now I've got the top one in just a touch, as you can see, but I've got to try and line the bottom one up now, and that's going to be hard in itself. Now, do you know, that took me about 15 minutes to just try and get that bottom screw in there. I don't know why it took so long. I don't know why I struggled so much of it, but they're both in. So that was stage 68. So stage 69, we're just going to be putting these sections on now. So I've got a brim, this section here, which is going to be going into the holes here. So we've got some pegs just to put in the holes, lining them up and push them into place. Don't have to glue them. They fit quite flush and tight in there. And then this whole section here is going to go on top of this section here. So it's just a case of putting this in like that. So that slots in through the top. And I'm holding that in with CM screws. And I just need 2 of these. Perfect. And that's on. And then finally, stage 70. I'm just going to be taking these 2 sections. These are plastic. 2 lugs going into the holes just here and here. Like that. So now that sits in there. And then this whole thing is going to be going onto this section just here. So I want to line up this center hole just in here. And make sure that the pins on this side are going into the pins on the other side here. That looks good. Perfect. Perfect. Just get this side in. That is excellent. And then I'm going to hold that in with one of these EP screws just through there. And there we go. That's the top of the arm completed, and that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in this pack. So with doing this, this is obviously the last of the arm pieces. Now we've already had the pecs done. They look just like that. And obviously we'd already completed the helmet as well. We will be having a mouth going on there. That does come off, as you can see, it's magnetically put on there. But that's the helmet, and that's probably going to be going around about there. So that's going to give you an idea of size. Not bad. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, you will have to check it's in your territory. I have put a link in the video description, and there's that QR code on the screen, but I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.